So here's Lofton. Greg Maddux made his major league debut as a Chicago Cub in 1986. He was only 20 years old at the time. Made his first start in September of that year. And he misses low for a ball.
I think Kenny Lofton is going to be the key for the Cubs tonight. If he can get on base, he can disrupt Maddux a little bit by stealing bases and running.
That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike to Lofton. Lofton 2 hits, 8 at bats, plus 2 walks in this series. So he's been on base 4 times out of 10. Third baseman Castilla very shallow. You see him there on the left side. And that runs in a little bit off the plate. 2-1 to Lofton.
Well, that's the cut fastball he'll throw. We saw the sinker on the first pitch.
That is foul right past Gene Kleins, the first base coach, and into the visiting bullpen area.
Well, he showed them all his pitches. That was the changeup. He's thrown the fastball, he's thrown the sinking fastball, the cut fastball, and the changeup.
Two and 2 to Lofton. And again, a foul ball. Maddux with his 16 wins this year. And he didn't often go real deep into games, but he was very reliable. He always made his starts. He made more starts than any other National League pitcher. And he got that ball up as he took something off that pitch, but got it up, and Lofton hit it foul into the seats off to the left. Just kind of swatted at him.
Well, this is a good at bat for Lofton and for his Cub teammates to get a chance to see what Maddux is doing out there, if they didn't already know.
And another foul ball again. Took a little something off that one, and Lofton hit it foul. Maddux has made 10 appearances in Division Series play, 15 in League Championship Series. That one down the right field line. On the run, Sheffield. It's in there. Base hit. Lofton with a turn at first, but it'll hold as Sheffield has a real strong arm. Hey, I caught you there being precise. I appreciate that. Now Grudzielanek. He pushes the bunt up the first base side. Fick falls down. He can't handle it. Everybody's safe. And remember, we're playing on a wet field tonight. Rain fell right after they were introducing all the players on both clubs, and a pretty heavy rain fell on this field before they got the tarp over the infield.
Well, a lot of people will wonder, why do you bunt in the first inning? Well, you try to get a run for a guy like Pryor who can shut the Braves down. You see right there, Fick slips down and no play. Everybody's safe. But I think it was a smart play by Dusty Baker to try to get the lead right away.
Now, I don't see this guy bunting.
I doubt it.
Although they would be shocked.
One thing else you also have to be aware of is Kenny Lofton at second base, because Maddux does not check the runner that often at second base. He allows you to run if you want to.
And there's that trademark Maddux fastball that starts off the corner and then hooks back to the plate.
Well, what he wants here is a ground ball, so he's going to try to mix in some sinkers. Unless he gets ahead, then he might go for the strikeout, but he wants a ground ball.
Sammy with 3 hits and 5 at bats in this series, plus 4 walks, so the Braves have been pitching around him a lot. They've kept him in the ballpark, but he's been getting his hits.
Well, the one thing that Sammy Sosa has done the last few years, he's become a much better hitter. He will use the entire ballpark. He hits right center to left center. I mean, he will. You pitch him out there a lot, he will go the other way.
1 strike to count to Sosa. 2 men on, nobody out. The Cubs trying to jump ahead here in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sosa, 3 homers in 59 lifetime at bats against Maddux. So these two veterans have been going at it head to head for a long time, and Sammy only has a .220 lifetime average against Maddux. And there aren't many hitters who have hit much better than that against Maddux over the years. Sammy Sosa, 40 homers during the season. Lofton at second. Grudzielanek at first. Nobody out. And Maddux bluffs a pick off the second. Nobody was covering.
Yeah, but they are aware of Lofton, and that's important because if you give any of your concentration to the guy at second base, that means you have less concentration on the hitter. So Lofton's doing his job, making them aware that he's there and that he might steal a base.
That graphic was interesting. Now they're going to actually make a pickoff attempt, and Giles accepting that throw a little bit late. Lofton back in. You saw that graphic. About a third of the runs that Maddux has allowed this year have come in the first inning. So this is the time to get to him. It often has taken him a while to settle in on the mound.
Well, the better pitchers are always that way. If you're going to get them, you have to get them early.
Now you see Lofton getting his lead at second. Giles is shaded toward the middle, the second baseman.
Well, they're having a lot of problems with the signs, meaning Lopez wants one pitch, Maddux wants another, and we know that over the years he has not caught Greg Maddux very often. I guess it had been 5 years before he started catching him down the stretch this year so that he would be prepared to catch him in the playoffs. They're not used to working together, and they're having a lot of problems. You see Maddux, when he stands there, he shook him off a few times, but when he stands there that long, that disrupts his rhythm. They're going to have to get on the same page or he's going to have problems most of the evening.
Lofton with his lead from second. Giles bluffs in behind him. And Sammy at that high tight fastball, fouling it back into the second deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Moises Alou, another powerful hitter, is on deck. The last time prior to in mid-September was in the regular season, 1998. The last time he caught him in the postseason was 7 years ago in the 1996 World Series. 1-2 the count to Sosa. And Sammy strikes out. He chased the high one up out of the strike zone. Now Moises Alou, still 2 men on, 1 man out. That's Lofton at second. Giles bluffs in behind him, but he was only bluffing. Maddux also bluffed a throw. Lofton went back to the bag. Moises Alou, 3 hits, 8 at bats. Finished the season with an injury to his left thumb that he sustained on trying to make a diving catch in the outfield. But he says it's fine now, not anything that bothers him at all. That ball is hit well into center field. Not that well. Jones took a quick step back and then just stood and waited for it, and it was a routine play. 2 men are gone, and here is Randall Simon.
And that's why Greg Maddux is such a good pitcher. Got in trouble the first 2 hitters. He faced the 3 and 4 hitters and got them out.
And that's ball 1 to Simon. Simon hitting in the 5th spot where Ramirez had been hitting. Simon, the lefty, up against Maddux. These are former teammates. Simon came up with the Braves originally. Simon, he's a bad ball hitter, and he will swing at almost anything you throw up there, including this one.
Well, these are registering right at the top of the zone. I think we have to adjust that zone a little bit.
Well, and Maddux should throw 1 a foot higher than that, and I think he'd still swing at it. 1-1 the count. Well, thank you, Randall. I don't know if that was a foot high, but that was way up there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's see what K-Zone says.
Well, I guess K-Zone registers that as high.
That was high. So if you're Maddux, you go back up there again?
Well, I think Greg has a game plan. I mean,
1-2 the count. Lofton is running, and the ball gets by Lopez, and Lofton turns third, then slips and falls and has to dive safely back to the bag just ahead of the tag by Castilla. Grudzielanek moved over to second.
Well, we have to see how they score that. Lofton, of course, should get a stolen base, but I don't know if Grudzielanek ran after the ball got away. Grudzielanek was going back, so that'll either be a wild pitch or a pass ball that allowed Grudzielanek to go to second base. And there you see Lofton slipping down, and quick reaction by Javi.
So it's a steal for Lofton, his second of the series, and Grudzielanek moves up on the wild pitch. Good heads-up throw there by Javi Lopez, and he almost got Lofton after he fell over. 2-2 to Simon. A base hit can mean a couple of runs. Into right field. Sheffield can't get to it. Base hit. Lofton has scored, and here's Grudzielanek. 2-0 Cubs. Simon gets a big one against his old team. Now Aramis Ramirez, another former Pirate.
Well, he definitely gets, you see, he gets jammed here, but if you're strong, you can muscle the ball into the outfield, and that's what he does. And you have to give Dusty Baker credit because he flip-flopped Ramirez with Simon, and the reason he did that because he wanted to break up all those right-handers in a row.
So here's Ramirez. You know, actually, Maddux has done pretty well against the Cubs tonight. It's the Pittsburgh Pirates who are beating him. Kenny Lofton, who started the year with the Pirates, led off with a single, eventually stole a bag, and then Randall Simon, acquired more recently from the Pirates, gets the 2-out clutch hit. And here's another former Pirate, Ramirez at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Maddux changing speeds on that one a little more softly. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Lofton with the Cubs at .327 really ignited the offense from the top of the order, just as he did with the Giants last year after being acquired in trade. Aramis Ramirez, he had as many RBIs in about 60 games playing third base as all the other Cubs third basemen all year. And then, of course, Randall Simon. Give him a left-handed option for first base. And he fights that curveball off, bouncing it foul. Still 1-2. So Pryor stake to a lead here, John. You were talking about it earlier as to why Grudzielanek would be bunting. I mean, now Pryor has that lead.
Yeah, well, you want to try to get ahead. If you have 2 pitchers who you think are going to be on top of their games that particular night, try to give him something to work with.
The wide open right side just past the dive of Giles. Simon stops at second as Sheffield throws in behind him. Ramirez with just a chop on the infield, but the first baseman playing in the bag, that's a wide open right side, and he exploited it.
Well, that's the sinker that Maddux throws, and it's away, and Ramirez does a good job. He just goes the other way. He doesn't try to pull it. Giles not able to run it down. It was as you said, it was a big hole on the right side, and Ramirez hit it through the right side.
And the Cubs fans doing the sarcastic tomahawk chop now at Wrigley. Alex Gonzalez into the hole at short for Kyle. The Giles covering at second with a force out on Ramirez. 4 base hit, including a bunt, and the Cubs have a 2-0 lead.